welcome back to day 2 out here in the farmer's field. So if you didn't see the last vlog episode, what we're doing is I've got a farmer buddy. I gotta work on being able to talk in these. I've got a farmer buddy that does drain tile in farmers fields over the winter time. And this particular field they actually own. They just purchased it this past year, and so they're putting in some drain tile to kind of improve the field. And they had to do some pretty deep cuts. One of them, they actually cut about 8 foot down and then ran their tile plow through that trench. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the last vlog episode so you can see that trench, because it was a mama of a trench. So anyway, we got that filled in yesterday, so today I'm actually going to spend a fair amount of time in the dozer getting that all straightened out and getting it prepped for topsoil, and then we'll get back in the excavator, start bailing topsoil over the area that we just smoothed out. So yeah, so I'm in the middle of catting across the farmer's field. That's where the guys are working on drain tile. I don't know if you can see that because the sun's probably washing it out, but way out across that ridge is where they're actually working right now. And right back over here is where we're going to be working. So I'm going to catch you guys in a minute. You guys really like the dual cam setup, so I'm going to get a dual cam setup going with the dozer so you can see what I'm doing with my hands while I run the dozer. So give me a couple minutes and we'll get you set up. Catch you in a minute. Alright, so as you can see out in front of us, this is pretty well smooth, but further out there where we were working yesterday, it looks a little bit like the moon. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left side of the machine. Out in the farmer's field, we're going to try to blend everything over to the right, which is our low area, and then we will get it all spread and we'll track it in pretty well, get it flat, and then we'll bring the excavator over and start throwing topsoil on, and we'll come back and slick that off. So that's the plan for how we're going to go about this. I think that would be the most efficient way. So one thing I am going to do is we're going to go all the way down with our blade angled off to the right here. Then we're going to flip around, angle our blade to the left, and do a push coming back. In a dozer, you're only pushing when you go forward. So you're only working half the time. So if we can, in this circumstance, instead of working little sections and backing up a bunch, if we can make big long passes, we'll be a lot more efficient, we'll be a lot more productive. So that's my reasoning as to why I'm doing what I'm doing today. rocks kicked off to the side. We're in Michigan, and if I were to just bury those rocks, you know, a foot or so deep, within the next couple of years, they would work themselves back out of the ground with the frost and cause problems for the guys when they do soybeans, because that header needs to be right on the ground. So I'm actually leaving those rocks exposed, and then we'll come back at another point in time and actually pick those rocks up and get them out of the field altogether. So I've been taking most of my blade with these last couple passes because there hasn't been a whole lot of material. But you're going to notice when I start getting into here where I'm doing a much bigger cut, where I've got a lot more mounds, I'm only going to set up to where about half of my blade is taking material. Knowing that my blade is going to fill up, I don't want a bunch of spoils rolling off to the right side. I want to keep the spoils all moving off to the left. So I'm going to physically bump my machine over, and you can see we're already set up on the line to where I'm only going to take about a half pass. That's going to let me grade more efficiently because my blade isn't trying to dig the whole width of the blade, so I have a lot more control over depth. It's going to let me keep my speed up, which is going to keep me more accurate. That way you don't dive every time you start to cut into something. And then more importantly, it's not going to cause me to have a bunch of spoil spill over off the right, making me have to take another pass or two. So in these circumstances, instead of doing a full blade width, we're just going to do a half blade. I see a lot of operators do this. They just sit there and they're going to spin, spin, spin. No. All you're doing is stretching out everything on the undercarriage. You're causing a bunch of excess wear. It's really hard on the machine. If you've got a lot of track spin, you need to lift the blade up and take some lighter passes. You know, it's not productive to sit and, you know, I can sit here, we can really go at it, and I can really fight this thing, but by God, I'm going to do it in one pass, and I'm not going to have to come back. Well, it makes no sense. If it took me a half hour to make it to that end because I'm sitting here fighting so hard, I could have easily made 2 or 3 passes in 5 minutes, gotten all of the windrow pushed over, and been more accurate with my dozer blade because I'm not fighting, I'm not leaving all these giant holes and hoopties where I've been digging. All that to say, if you're really fighting and spinning the tracks, Raise your blade up a little bit, make 2 passes instead of taking 1. It'll actually save you time overall. You can see now, because we took that pass and we knocked that berm down. Look, there's a rock. Because we knocked that berm down, now we're able to chug right through this without much struggle. And I'm able to grade a lot faster and be a lot more accurate with my blade because I'm not fighting that berm. The reason I straightened my blade there is there was a little bit of a hole that I wanted to fill, so I wanted to carry some of that material. Yeah, so you can see we got that hole filled in. Alright guys, so about 45 minutes in, here's what we got. This is by far the biggest stretch of the field that we've got to repair. And you can see we're not shooting for perfect. We got some windrows and stuff, but that's fine. We're gonna take all of this topsoil that's along the side here and now push that over. Actually, I'm gonna bring that 330 over and we're gonna bale it because it'll be a lot faster. And then I can just knock the tops down. But yeah, this was about 45 minutes worth of work. And you can see we've got a pretty smooth field. There's a little hole right in here, but we'll just build that up with the topsoil because I know there's gonna be a couple spots where I'm gonna be a little fat with topsoil. So we'll get that blended in. But it's all coming together now. This is definitely farmable now. So we're now going to move up by the 330, and that was the area where the spoils and the topsoil were both mixed together. They didn't separate them. So that run up there, I'm gonna estimate is gonna take me 20 minutes or so to get that smoothed and graded. Then we're gonna move up into that area, do the same thing. Then we'll jump in the 330 and start baling topsoil there and here. And then we'll jump back in the dozer one more time to smooth off our topsoil, and then we should be done. So, sounds easy enough, doesn't it? We'll see what happens. So I'll catch you guys here in the machine. I'll try to get you some unique camera angles today since I got time to play with the cameras, and that's a little unique considering the other jobs I've been on lately. So I'm gonna jump back in the dozer and we'll catch you guys here in a bit with an update. right guys, so I take it back. It was 30 minutes because I dinked around with some camera angles to get you guys some cool shots, but here you go. Well, that's not working very well, is it, with the sun? Fine, I'll walk down to the other end. Ah. But yeah, it's coming along for sure. I've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 little cleanup passes to do through here. The nice thing about not doing residential, you guys have always seen me do residential where you gotta fine tune, backblade all your tracks out, worry about every little windrow. The nice thing about this, I don't have to deal with any of that. As long as I get it nice and flat, they're gonna bring a cultivator in here, they're gonna churn this all up. I don't have to worry about track marks, I don't have to worry about windrows. As long as we got it nice and flat, we're good. So here you go. Just because I'm a little anal, I'm gonna go back and, you know, tidy up a couple windrows, because that's just how I am. Again, with pointing the camera at my face. I'm sorry guys. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do this professionally. But yeah, these little windrows, because I'm a dirt guy, it bothers me. So I'm gonna make I'm gonna make 3 more passes, tidy these up, and then we're moving back over there. I don't know if the I don't know if the sun's washing you out or not, but those piles back over there, we're gonna move over there, we're gonna tidy those up, prep them for topsoil, and then we should be getting in the 330. So my prediction is 45 minutes to an hour and we'll be back in the hoe. So I'm gonna finish these out. I'm probably not gonna do any more video in the dozer for now. So I'll catch you guys in the hoe. We'll see you in a bit.